Alright guys, let's go ahead first and dry pat that brisket. Oh yeah. We want to dry pat this brisket on both sides. As you can see here, it's looking good. Dry it all. Oh yeah. Now it's time to trim the brisket. Now what I'm doing here is I want to do it about a 1/4 inch thick on this brisket, and as you can see me trimming, I want to even it all out throughout the brisket. Now don't worry about that little meat that's shown, it's alright. Even fat cap so it looks all even all the way across is what we want. Oh yeah. You want to trim all the sides there. It's unnecessary fat you need, so you definitely want to take that out. Looking good right there so far. Let's go ahead and trim those little corners like I mentioned and clean it all up. Just remember, this is backyard barbecue. This ain't competition. You just want to make it look good so it cooks right when you smoke it. Now this process here may take a little while, but we got to do what we got to do. So as you can see, we're cutting out the corners and removing that big decal piece there. And you definitely want to remove that fat there. That is unnecessary fat you need, and you definitely want to take that off. And look at that marbling inside of that brisket. It's looking good right there. Oh yeah. As we continue to trim this out, like I said, you still want to make it look clean. Now we start trimming off some of that fat. Oh yeah. Check that out. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to shave off the silver skin that's on that bottom brisket. So I get a knife and I start trimming it up, and as you can see, it's taking all of that silver lining, and that's what we want to do. This is what's going to make this brisket even more tender. Now we got it all clean. Got a little bit of fat there. We're going to go ahead and take off whatever's left over from it, but overall it's looking good. It is looking good. Oh yeah. Now we got some fat on the side there. We definitely want to trim some of that off. That's unnecessary. Want to make it look clean on the side. And like I said before, this is backyard brisket. So far so good, taking all of that fat there. We're almost done. Looks clean. Look at the other side. It looks clean. Just taking a few pieces out there. Now let's go ahead and put it on a tray, because now we want to start the process and season it up. So now we're going to use salt and pepper. So first we're going to go ahead and put the salt, kosher salt. nice and thick all the way around on both sides. Now let's go ahead and add that pepper. It's a 2 pepper that I'm using today. No binder, just salt and pepper on both sides. Pat it down. Now let's go ahead and turn it around and do the same process. Let's start with the salt. Nice and even. Now let's go ahead and add the pepper. Nice and thick on the pepper. You want it to almost cover that brisket. And man, oh man, look at how it looks. Now let's go ahead and look at it in slow-mo. Oh yeah. Nice and thick. Check that out, guys. Now the brisket is ready to go ahead and rest. We're gonna go ahead now and we're gonna cover it up for 24 hours and leave it in the fridge. Next day, what you want to go ahead and do is let's go ahead and start that charcoal. Got 2 cubes, 2 chimeneas. You want to fill up the 2 baskets all the way to the top. Once you fill them up, then we're going to go ahead and turn them on. Turn on the little cubes. I'm using a blowtorch, but you can use a lighter. To me, blowtorch is a little quicker. Go ahead and put the chimeneas back and let the charcoal start. And here it is. We're gonna go ahead and wait till that charcoal is completely white and put it there on my Weber Smoky Mountain. The charcoal that I did use is I used the Kingsford Charcoal. Happy anniversary. Just keep it lit till the coals are white, like I said. Now it's time to go ahead and add the charcoal inside the Weber Smoky Mountain. And want to put both chimeneas of charcoal inside. Once we do that, we want to add a few pieces of unfired charcoal. Or raw charcoal, whatever you want to call it. And I put about 4 to 5 pieces of hickory wood. And I go ahead and put the middle portion of the Weber Smoky Mountain. Now it's time to go ahead and open the vent all the way on the top. Now the vents in the bottom, I'm only going to do about 1/4 inch. I did add water in the pan halfway to maintain temp. So the temperature we're looking at is 250 to 275. Go ahead and put a piece of wood or hickory wood that I put in there to have the brisket fit on the charcoal grill. This is a little trick I learned from my boy, Big Curt. As you can see, It fits perfectly by adding that piece of wood, and I have it fat side down since the heat is coming from the bottom directly. Got it all tightened up. Now we're going to go ahead and connect the InkBird. I'm using 3 probes today, but we're going to have one directly on the grate. To get accurate temps, as I trust InkBird. The next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to add the other 2 probes, one on the point and the other one on the flat, just to keep an eye on the temperatures and making sure that everything looks good. Once we do that, we can now get it connected to the InkBird, which we'll have there, and we're going to go ahead and close the lid and wait for 4 hours before our first spritz. 4 hours is here. Now it's time to go ahead and spritz. I spritz this with just water, just to keep the moisture. Spritz it all over. And we're going to go ahead and close it and wait for another 4 hours. 4 hours is here. Now let's go ahead and spritz again. As you can see, the brisket is coming to form. Man, it's looking good right there. Oh yeah. Close it up. Now the internal temp we're looking for is 203 before we pull it out from the flat. And we've got 2 more hours to go to get this done. So a total of 10 hours on this 14-pound brisket. Now let's go ahead and open it up, because the brisket is done internally on the flat 203, and we're gonna go ahead and let it rest. And look at that brisket. Oh my goodness, now that looks good. Oh yeah, this is backyard big room style brisket. It's a beautiful thing. Look at that bark. Now looking at this, now it's time to go ahead and let it rest for about an hour. And then we're gonna go ahead and guess what? It's time to go ahead and slice. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and slice it in the middle. And look at that bark. Roof, roof. That bark looking good right there. Just salt and pepper, guys. Just salt and pepper. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut it in the middle, so you can see the juices coming down that brisket. Oh, it's so tender. Look at that. Look at that ring. Now I'm gonna squeeze. Look at that juice. Look at that juice. All about that juice, baby. Big Curt always says that. All about that juice. Much love, brother. Now we're gonna give it a slice just to see where it's at. And man, oh man, there it is. All right, guys, that's all, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and Big Rome out. What's going on? It's Big Rome, Barbecue Grill Masters Empire. I'm back. Now today I'm gonna go ahead and smoke a brisket on my Weber Smoky Mountain. Now I want to give a special shout out to Big Cano from Big Cano BBQ and Curt Special, Curtis Cano, for giving me advice on how to use it. And you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait to go ahead and show you exactly what I did. On this video, I'm going to go through a lot of talking on how I did everything to make sure you get the process going and you learn how to do it. I'm going to tell you something. The results are going to be fantastic. So definitely you need to watch. By the way, if this is your first time in my channel, definitely subscribe and tap that bell for any updates of videos that I do. And if you're a return subscriber, thank you very much for being a Grill Master Empire here. So all I gotta say now is let's get this started. Woo!